we are going to study the programming for 805 microcontroller. There are some topics that which covered in this particular video. That is the introduction related to the 8051. Then it's different types of addressing mode. Then different types of instructions, and depending on the instruction, how the particular program will be done. Now going to the next slide. As we know that a computer is an instruction made up of the operation code, followed by, in short we call as opcode, followed by either 0, 1 or 2 bytes of operands. Operands is nothing but the data attached to the particular operation code. The opcode identifies the types of operation to be performed, while the operands identically the source and destination of the data. The operand can be the data value itself, then the CPU register, or a memory location, or a IO port. If the instruction is associated with more than one operand, the format is always like the opcode, after that the destination and the source. Now next, moving toward the addressing modes, there are the different types of addressing modes are available in 8051 instruction set. There are basically 8 modes of addressing modes are available with the 8051. The different addressing modes determine how the operand byte is selected. The addressing modes are like register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, immediate constant addressing mode, relative addressing mode, absolute addressing mode, long addressing mode, and index addressing mode. Now we can study it by step. The first is called the register addressing mode. The register addressing instruction involves the information transfer between the register. For example, move R0, A. In this instruction, the transfer the accumulator content into the R0 register. The register bank may be 0, 1, 2 or 3 must be specified prior to the instruction. Next, the direct addressing mode. This mode allows you to specify the operand by giving its actual memory address, typically specified in hexadecimal format, or by giving the abbreviated name used for the SFR access. For example, move A, P3. This instruction transfers the construction of contents of port 3 into the accumulator. Next, move A, 020H. This instruction can transfer the contents of RAM having a location of 20H into the accumulator. Indirect addressing mode. This mode uses a pointer to hold the effective address of the operand. Only the register R0, R1 and DPTR can be used as the pointer register. The R0 and R1 register can hold an 8-bit address, whereas DPTR can hold a 16-bit address. It is used for the upper data memory area. For example, move @R0, A. These instructions can store the content of accumulator into the memory location pointed by the content of register R0. R0 could have an 8-bit address such as 60H. Move X A, @DPTR. These instructions transfer the content from the memory location pointed by the DPTR into the accumulator. The DPTR could have a 16-bit address such as 1234H in hexadecimal. Next is immediate constant addressing mode. This mode of addressing uses either an 8 or 16-bit constant value as the source as operand. This constant is specified in the instruction rather than in a register or a memory location. The destination register should hold the same data size which is specified by the source operand. For example, add A, #30H. These instructions add the 8-bit value 30H to the accumulator register, which is a 8-bit register. Move DPTR, #FE00H. This instruction moves the 16-bit data FE00H into the 16-bit data pointer. So that's why it is called the immediate constant addressing mode. Next is relative addressing mode. This mode of addressing is used for some type of jump instructions like sjump and conditional jump. For example, short jump and long jump. These instructions transfer the control from one part of a program to the another part of program. The destination address must be within a 128 and plus 127 bytes from the current instruction address because an 8-bit offset is used, that is 28 is equal to 256. For example, go back, this is the label used for the particular addressing mode. DEC A, which decrement the accumulator. JNZ go back. If A is not 0, then loop back to the particular label. The next one is absolute addressing mode. If the two instructions associated with this mode of addressing are a call and a jump instructions. These are 2-byte instructions where the 11-bit absolute address is specified as the operand. The upper 5 bits of the 16-bit program counter address are not modified. The lower 11 bits are loaded from this instruction. So the branch address must be within the current 2k byte of programming memory. The example is like a call port underscore init, where port underscore init is should be the location within the 2 kilobytes of memory. Next addressing mode is long addressing mode. This mode of addressing is used with the call, lcall and ljump instruction, that is long call and long jump. It is a 3-byte instruction and the last 2 bytes specify the 16-bit destination location where the program branches. It allows use of the full 64 kilo code specification into the memory. This program will always branch to the same location no matter where the program was previously. For example, lcall timer init. This instruction will give the long jump to this timer init specified by the operand. The last addressing mode is index addressing mode. The index addressing is useful when there is a need to retrieve the data from lookup table. A 16-bit register, that is a data pointer, holds the base address and the accumulator holds an 8-bit displacement or index value. The sum of these two registers forms the effective address for a jump move instructions. For example, move a comma hash 08h, that is it is the offset address from the table where the particular instruction starts. Move dptr comma hash 01f00, that means the data pointer should start from this address. After the execution of the above instructions, the program will branch to the address 1f08h and transfer into the accumulator the data byte retrieves from that location. Next is the instruction types. The C8051 instructions is divided into 5 functional groups of instruction. The first is arithmetic operations, second is logical operations, third is data transfer operations, fourth is boolean variable operations, and last one is program branching operation. Let's see it one by one. This is the arithmetic operations. There are the some instructions given into this video. These are the out of this instruction we can study few of the instructions. For example, add a comma source byte or add c comma a comma source byte. These above instructions can add the data type specified by the source operand to the accumulator, leaving the result in the accumulator. Add c, add the data byte specified by the source operand, the carry flag and the accumulator contents, leaving the result in the accumulator. The operation of both the instructions add and add c can affect the carry flag, auxiliary carry flag and the overflow flag. Next instruction is sub a comma source byte. The sub b subtract the specified data byte and the carry flag together from the accumulator, leaving the result in the accumulator. The flags affected in these instructions are carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, and overflow flag. For example, the accumulator holds the C1H, the register 1 holds the 40H. If we can perform the subtract A comma R1, then the result should be obtained into the accumulator, and the carry flag, auxiliary carry flag, and overflow flags will be affected. Next instructions are increment byte. This instruction increment the data variable by 1. The instruction is used in register direct or register direct addressing mode. For example, increment 6FH. If the internal RAM location is 6FH contains 30H, then the instruction increment this value leaving the 31H and location 65H. Next, decrement byte. The data variable is decremented by 1. The instruction is used in accumulator, register direct or register direct addressing mode. The data of value 00H underflows to FFH after the operation. In this instruction, no flags are affected. Next instruction is increment DPTR. This instruction increments the 16-bit data pointer by 1. DPTR is the only 16-bit register that can be incremented. The instructions add one of the content of DPTR directly. Moving toward the next instruction, arithmetic instruction mult AB. That means it can multiply the two register, that is A and B, and the 16-bit result stored in its higher bits will be stored into the B register and lower bits should be stored into the accumulator. It multiplies the unsigned 8-bit integers in the accumulator and the B register. In this instruction, the one data should be must present in the accumulator and the second data should present in the B register. The low order byte of the 16-bit product will go to the accumulator while the higher byte will go to the B register. If the product is greater than 255, the overflow flag is set, otherwise it is clear. The carry flag is always clear. Next instruction is division A B. These instructions divide the A by the B register. The one operand should be in A register and second operand should be in the B register. The integer part of the quotient is stored into the accumulator while the remainder goes to the B register. In this instruction, the carry and overflow flag both are clear. That means it can change its value. Now moving toward the next instruction type, that is logical operations. These are the some instructions that we have to study. First one is ANL destination byte comma source byte. This instruction can perform the logical AND operation on the source and destination operand and store the result into the destination variable. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. For example, ANL A comma R2. This instruction can perform the AND operation with R2 register data present into the R2 register and result will be stored into the register. Next instruction is ORL destination byte comma source byte. This instruction can perform the logical OR operation on the source and the destination operands and store the result into the destination variable. In this instruction, no flags are affected. Next, XRL destination comma source byte. This instruction can perform the logical XOR, that is exclusive OR operation on the source and the destination operands and store the result into the destination variable. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. Clear A and CPL A. Clear A. This instruction clears the accumulator. That means all bits present into the accumulator is set to the 0. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. If accumulator, for example, if accumulator is C3H, then this instruction results in accumulator the data should be 00H. Next, CPL A. This instruction logically complements each bit of the accumulator. That is, it can perform the one complement operation on the data present into the accumulator. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. Next, RLA, RRA and RLCA. Let's see one by one. RLA, the 8 bit in the accumulator is rotated 1 bit to the left. Bit 7 is rotated into the bit 0 position. In these instructions, no flags is affected. Next, RLCA. This instruction rotate the accumulator contain 1 bit to the left through a carry flag. Bit 7 of the accumulator will move into the carry flag and the original value of the carry flag will move into the bit 0 position. In this instruction, no other flags will be affected except carry flag. Next is RRA. This is the 8 byte instruction in accumulator is rotated 1 bit to the right, bit 0 is rotated into the bit 7 position. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. RRCA and swap A. The RRC instruction rotate the accumulator contain 1 bit to the right through the carry flag. In this instruction, except the carry flag, no other flag will be affected. Swap A. This instruction interchange the lower order of 4-bit nibbles, that is A0 to A3, with the higher order of 4-bit nibble, that is A4 to A7 of the accumulator. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. Now moving to the next data type of instruction, that is called as the data transfer of instruction. In this instruction, the data transfer instruction can be used to transfer the data between the internal RAM location and SFR, that is location, without going through the accumulator. It is possible to transfer the data between the internal and external RAM by using the indirect addressing modes. The upper 128 byte of data RAM are accessed only by indirect addressing and the SFRs are associated only by the direct addressing. Now going to the first instruction, move destination byte comma source byte. This instruction can move the source byte into the destination location. The source byte is not affected, neither are any other register or flags will be affected by this instruction. For example, move R1 comma hash 60. This instruction can move the 60H data into the R1 register. Next, move A comma @R1. This instruction can move the data present in R1 register into the accumulator. Move R2 comma hash 61H. This instruction can move the 61H data into the R2 register. Add A comma @R2. This instruction can add the data present into the R2 with the accumulator. Move R7 comma A. This instruction can move the content of accumulator into the R7 register. Next, move DPTR comma 16-bit data. This instruction loads the data pointer with the 16-bit constant, and in this particular instruction no flags is affected. For example, move DPTR comma hash 1032. This instruction loads the value of 1032H into the data pointer, that is DPH is having a 10H of data and DPL is having a 32H of data. Next, move X destination byte comma source byte. This instruction can transfer the data between accumulator and a byte of external data memory. There are two forms of this instruction. The only difference between them is whether to use a 8-bit or 16-bit indirect addressing mode to access the external data RAM. The 8-bit form of the MOVEX instruction uses the semi-comma SFR to determine the upper 8-bit or effective address to the access and a content of R0 to R1 to determine the lower 8 bits of the effective address to access. Push direct. This instruction increment the stack pointer by 1. The content of direct, which is an internal memory location, or the SFR, are copied into the internal RAM location addressed by the stack pointer. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. Pop direct. This instruction reads the content of the internal RAM location addressed by the stack pointer and decrement the stack pointer by 1. The data read is then transferred to the direct address, which is an internal memory or SFR. In this instruction, no flags is affected. Exchange A, byte. This instruction swaps the content of accumulator with the content of indicated data byte. For example, exchange A, @R0. This instruction can exchange the data present into the R0 with the accumulator. Next group of instruction is Boolean variable instructions. In this instruction, the 8051 processor can perform the single bit operations. The operations include set, clear as well as OR and complement instructions. Also, it includes the bit level moves or conditional jump instructions. All bit access use a direct addressing mode. First instruction, clear bit. This operation clears the or reset to 0 the specified bit indicated in the instruction. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. Clear instruction can operate on the carry flag or any directed address bit. For example, clear CLR P2.7. It clears the if port 2 has been previously written with a DCH, then the operation leaves the port set to 5CH. Set bit. This operation sets the specific bit to the 1. Set B instruction can operate on carry flag or any directly addressed bit. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. For example, set B C, set B P2.0. CPL bit. This operation complements the bit indicated by the operand. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. The CPL instruction can operate on a carry flag or any directly addressed bit. For example, CPL P2.1 or CPL P2.2. If a port 2 has the value of 53H before the start of the instruction, then after the execution of the instruction, it leaves the port set to 55H. ANLC, source bit. This instruction adds the bit address with the carry bit and stores the result in the carry bit itself. If the source bit is a logical 0, then the instruction clears the carry flag, else the carry flag is left in the original value. If a slash is used in the source operand bit, it means that the logical complement of the address source bit is used, but the source bit itself is not affected. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. ORLC, source bit. This instruction ORs the bit address with the carry bit and stores the result in the carry bit itself. It sets the carry flag if the source bit is logical 1, else the carry is left in its original value. If a slash is used in the source operand bit, it means that the logical complement of the address source bit is used, but the source bit itself is not affected. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. Move destination bit, source bit. The instructions load the value of source operand bit into the destination operand bit. One of the operand must be the carry flag, the other may be an direct addressing bit. No other register or flag is affected in this instruction. For example, move P2.3, C, move C, P3.3. These are the some examples of move destination bit, source bit. JC REL. This instruction branch to the address indicated by the label if the carry flag is set, otherwise the program continues to the next instruction. This instruction can jump if the carry flag is going to be set. In this instruction, no flags will be affected. For example, clear C, subtract a comma r0, jc array 1, move a comma hash 20h. If the carry flag is clear initially after the subtract instruction, if the value of a is similar than r0, then the instruction sets the carry flag and cause program execution to branch to the array 1. Otherwise, it continues to the move instruction. JNC REL. This instruction branch to the address indicated by the label if the carry flag is not set. Otherwise, the program continues to the next instruction. No flag will be affected. The carry flag is not modified into this instruction. JB bit comma REL. This instruction jump to the address indicated if the destination bit is 1. Otherwise, the program continues to the next instruction. The bit tested is not modified and no flag will be affected in this instruction. JNB bit comma REL. This instruction jumps to the address indicated if the destination bit is 0. Otherwise, the program continues to the next instruction. In this instruction, no flag will be affected, but the bit tested is not modified. JBC bit comma REL. If the source bit is 1, this instruction clears it and branch to the address indicated. Else it proceed with the next instruction. The bit is not cleared if it is already a 0. No flag will be affected in this instruction. Now moving toward the next group of instruction, that is program branching instruction. Program branch instructions are used to control the flow of action in a program. Some instructions provide decision making capability and transfer the control to other part of the program. For example, conditional and unconditional branching. Next instruction is a call address 11. This instruction unconditionally calls the subroutine indicated by the address. The operation will cause the program counter to increase by 2. Then it pushes the 16-bit program counter value onto the stack, that is in the lower byte, and increment the stack pointer in twice. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. For example, a call loc underscore sub. If a stack pointer is having a value of 07h initially and the label loc sub is the program memory location of 0567h, then it executes the instruction at a location of 0230h. Then the stack pointer is going to be 09h. The internal RAM location 08h and 09h will contain the 32h and 02h respectively with the program counter having a value of 0567h. Lcall address. This instruction calls a subroutine located at the indicated address. The operation will cause the program counter to increase it by 1. Then it pushes the 16-bit program counter value onto the stack, that is in the lower byte of the first, and increment the stack pointer twice. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. For example, lcall, loc sub. Initially, if the stack pointer having a value of 07h and the label loc sub is a program memory location of having a 203h, execute the instruction at a location of 0230h. The stack pointer is equals to 09h while the internal RAM location is 08h and 09h contains the 33h and 02h respectively as a program counter moves toward the 2034h. RAT, that is return instruction. This instruction returns the program from a subroutine. Return pop the high byte and low byte address of program counter from the stack and decrement by the stack pointer by 2. The execution of the instruction will result in the program to resume from the location jump just after the call instruction. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. Suppose a stack pointer having a value of 0vh or originally and internal RAM location 0ah and 0bh contain the value of 30h and 02h respectively. This instruction leaves the stack pointer at 09H and program execute will be continued at a location of 0230H. A jump address. The absolute jump instruction transfers the program execution to the destination address which is located at the absolute short range distance. The short range means 11 bit of address. The destination must therefore be within the same 2 kilobyte block of a program memory. For example, absolute jump near. If the label near is at a program memory location of 012H, the absolute jump instruction is location 023H loads the program counter with 0120H. LJump address 16, that is long jump address of 16 bit. The LJump instruction transfers the program execution to the destination address which is located at the absolute long range distance. The long range distance means it is having a 16 bit of address. The destination may therefore be anywhere in the full 64 kilobyte of program memory in the address space. In this instruction, no flag will be affected. SJump REL short jump. This is the short jump instruction which increment by the program counter 2 and add the relative value REL sign 8 bit to the program counter. This will be the new address where the program would branch to the unconditionally. Therefore, the range of destination allow is from -128 to the plus 127 bytes from the instruction. Next, JZREL. This instruction branch to the destination address if accumulator is 0, else the program continues to the next instruction. The accumulator is not modified and no flag will be affected. JNZREL. This instruction branch to the destination address if any bit of the accumulator is 1, else the program continues to the next instruction. The accumulator is not modified and none of the flag will be affected. CJNE destination byte, source byte. This instruction compare the magnitude of the destination byte and the source byte and branch if their values are not equal. The carry flag is set if the unsigned destination byte is less than the unsigned integer source byte. Otherwise, the carry flag is clear. Neither operand is affected. DJNZ byte, R destination. This instruction is decremented jump to the not 0. It decrements the content of the destination location and if the resulting value is not 0, it should branch to the address indicated by the source operand. An original value of 00H underflows to the FFH. In this instruction, no flags is affected. So dear friend, these are the some programming codes, these are the some programming instructions related to the 8051. Thank you for this video. Thank you.